Hey guys, welcome back to an exciting episode of All About You. In today's video, we will have a special guest that made a huge performance in this last 3K event. Talk about it and introduce yourself.
My name is Caden Brown. I play for Game Masters in Texas, and I got third place at our 1K event, and I played Shenron. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what Shenron, but I played Shenron hand control. And I took a lot of inspiration from the list at Top 16 at Nats, but put a little bit of cards, like a little changes to it, and played pretty well. So
yeah, you did awesome. He scooped me up.
yeah, it was a fun game for me, but probably not for him. We'll start out with the Dragon Balls because you got to play the 7. We play 4 of just the draw one, and 3 of this one. And this one is kind of like a key piece of the deck. You're going to draw a card, and then you're going to discard a card, so it lets you put your pieces into the drop to bring them back with your desires, and your opponent doesn't get a card like you do. And we'll move on to like some of the survival. 2 negates, just in case. This was probably the most underplayed card in my deck. I charged it like every time I saw it, so yeah. I never really needed it. Got to play 4 bean and 4 objection.
Oh my lord.
And these are just like, you put so many cards in your hand that being able to untap and just keep playing cards and free energy is really good.
It's just too good. It's way too good, especially when you're on the play and you're going first.
Right. Lets you get to the desires faster, and that's really good too. My desires played 3 Child's Wish and 3 World Peace.
Nice 3-3 split.
Yeah. Some games are rough when you don't see this, or if you see too much of this, but I don't think I would play the numbers different. I think that it played out well enough. And then we play 2 Radar. A lot of people like this card. This card is okay. The reason why I like it in this deck is not only can you just pick these up and keep abusing them, but being able to pick the 1-star up and just keep discarding your opponent is like super cool when they're down to like 2 or 3 cards. And you just want to force their charge to be super awkward so you can keep playing.
Yep.
Next up, we'll get to some of the battle cards.
That was actually done to me, guys. He just kept looping these and just killed my hand when I was playing androids.
These are the Child's Wish targets.
Oh, nice. Woo.
You play like nothing but crit, so it's hard for them to get cards. And a lot of cool interactions with Gohan in the deck is like you intentionally negging yourself with this or objection or some of the other cards you play, you get to just get them right back. So, and then this guy nets you a card every time. I've given both of these cards triple attack in like a faster matchup, and they've both proven really well. So.
Yeah, and what's great about Gohan is imagine that with triple attack and then that plus 10k buff.
You
it's
just
strong. You
keep throwing cards away and keep playing. Yeah.
Draw a combo, and you'll win, and they're not getting no card advantage at all.
I main decked 2 of the Crisis Crusher and the Kami. I wouldn't say I was scared of the Shenron Veggie deck, but just having access to this to punish somebody who goes really wide on you is really good when you get to just bring it back with Child's Wish and play it for free pretty much. Even at that, it nets you a card when you play it. So, and then the Crisis Crusher is like, you need to be able to out the Black Mass Sand, and if you don't, then none of your Child's Wish give you like really any value. Yeah. So I had this in there. Plus, if you play against any like deck that needs to awaken using a 1-drop, it's super good. So I didn't want to just cite it because you didn't want to get caught in game 1. This is probably like one of the last battle cards that you kind of use as like utility. I wish I had the second foil, but giving something crit is super good, and just refilling your hand. I used the untap a couple of times, and he's another way to get back like your little guys. The only one I play is this, and then I side like 1 more, I think, 2 more. And of course your super combo. Can't go without your super combo.
Of course. That's really strong.
These 0-10s from the new set, they help a lot against aggro, or if you need to protect something. And then like more of the hand control stuff.
Oh god, talk about the Deborah. That dude.
So this guy is another dude that interacts really well with the Gohan, and like being able to ditch 2 with Gohan and then put yourself low just to swing and get it back. And this guy can't be negated, so you know, giving it crit is like super amazing too. God. A lot of times you'll close out a game with this after you just make their hand really low. And if hit could trigger from being played from the drop, we would have been playing hit, but this is like hit's little cousin, I guess.
Yeah.
And it did enough work. You just put it out, you never swing with it, and you know, people don't like it because people can out it, but if you play the card to out it and I didn't hit it and you waste your turn outing this card to get your 2 cards back, then that's fine. Like, we're surviving.
Exactly.
The last pieces of the deck are like how you kill them. We play 2 at all costs. This is probably the best card in the format right now.
Oh yeah.
I think Nat's proved that, but I closed out a couple of games with this, being able to give it crit and then, you know, attacking 3 times. Your numbers get too big, and when you put your opponent... Okay. The last few are Gogeta, Beerus. So the Gogeta, being able to spin 2 cards is good, but drawing 2 cards is better, and most of the time you spin stuff that they were going to combo with, so it's like super cool. And this guy's, I hardly ever play him, but he's super nasty when you give him a triple attack. You want to play him in the matchups where, like veggies, where they don't have high costs on their guys. Most of the time you can just sack like a big dude, and it's just going to stop this card, but even then being able to swing 3 times with it is good.
Exactly.
And then my favorite cards of the deck, we got this Mass Saiyan, and Demigra. You play enough black in the deck that you can give something triple attack with Shenron and then still resolve this. So you're not in a bad position. And this card, if it comes down, most of the time you're winning.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You keep their hand low enough to where ripping 4 cards is going to absolutely devastate them. And if they have the out to this card, then fine. This card never really did anything for me, but I can see why it's really good. I value it in the veggie matchup. This is the same way they try and kill you, and you can fight them right back and do the exact same thing they're doing. This guy, this guy stole me a couple of games, and actually how I beat Anthony.
Yeah.
For people that don't know, he was the box topper of set 5. He literally says when he comes down, warp a card to like almost any other battle card, and when he attacks, as long as you have 7 in the drop and your leader is black, you can warp 2 of your own life to warp 1 of their life. And then they still have to combo out of this. So if you've done it, if you've given it triple attack, you can do that 3 times. And you keep your life so high with Shenron, it's literally like, I can at least take 2 most games.
Yeah.
And then you still have to fight out of it. So if you put them down to like 4 or 3, I think you were at 4 when I killed you.
Yeah.
So
it's like
it was
him
just
having like freaking 5 attacks because they automatically hit.
It was super rough. And then on top of that, 19 is like a weird number. So
and it's like 29. It's hitting at you for 29 with the 10k boost. Like, oh god.
So the side deck is it's interesting, but I didn't actually play very much of it. I never needed the killy zones, but they were in there in case you ran into like a yellow matchup. Yeah, which is rough. I sided this the most. This is the Mass Saiyan that kind of kills me. You board this against like Shenron variants. A lot of them actually don't play Child's Wish, but when you run into like Shenron veggies, they have to out this card, and then most of them, they're just gonna sideboard the Crisis Crusher. So if they don't make the call, thinking you don't, they're done. This card, Anthony hates this card too. Not only is this thing crit, but when it comes back, it's gonna untap for it.
Slaughter.
And we get to tap out to play all of our hand control, and then wish our guys back for free and untap our whole hand and keep doing it again and again and again. Yeah, so
I felt like I was playing Storm against Storm.
It was rough. It was really rough. When you put their hand low and you swing with crit, they're just never getting anything off of it. So, 1 Dende.
Nice.
I only played 1 because I can get it back with the 4-drop Shenron, and I can get it back with Child's Wish. Usually, if you resolve this at least once or twice, a Shenron player is going to be so far behind that you ripping cards out of their hand is just enough.
Yeah.
And I actually never resolved it, but that was because I didn't really play against anything Shenron that I didn't already kill with my hand control. Like they were just all super low. The 1-star ball does enough work that it's not enough that you can draw 7 cards for free with the Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
So I never resolved it, but I love this card. I think it's an amazing check in the format. The last cards are kind of like how we try and beat Storm. Kaba, Mira, and the Double Strike Kai. I cited this because I didn't have the Champas, but it's the same idea. We're trying to just get like big numbers out really quick because Storm is going to try and crit themselves down. I played one Storm all day and he got me. I saw one bean out of all 3 exchanges. So
yeah, but you guys went to game 3.
Yeah, we did go to game 3. It was very fun, and I would have loved to be able to like, you know, show this off and do this more. You just side out your Demigra because you're never going to get there.
Yeah.
You make sure you awaken and then you stay at 15, and then this guy is amazing. You know, obviously you give it this, but...
And guys, just want to touch up on this real quick because this is really strong with Shenron. So Shenron gives him a 10k buff, so he's at 15. Then his own effect gives him a 10k buff, which he's at 25. And he can keep using his auto. So
he keeps the 10k that he gains from this effect as well. So every time you untap him with the triple attack, he's stacking it, and it gets to where it's out of hand. So if they put themselves down to like
forget it,
4 or 3, they're almost always done. You can also get this back off of the 4-drop Shenron, so if you need to get a little more value and you get that far, this guy is really good.
Nice. And what about this? This is the same package against Storm?
Exactly. It's just trying to push these big numbers like really quick. With this strategy, if your opponent realizes that you can go for something like this, they're not going to crit themselves down to nothing. No. They're just going to build their cards up and then try and kill you. I wish there was a better out, but you know, that's why the deck is so good. And you know, I chose to play this because I wanted to have a little fun, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really fun, and it's good across the map, but you know, with the exception of Storm.
A lot of people hate not playing the game, and when they have 0 cards in their hand, they're not playing the game.
Oh, they're not playing the game.
it was really fun to just be able to not worry about how much they could combo or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just literally take every card from them. So.
And I guess just to do a little recap, talk a little bit about your experience. 10 rounds, guys.
10 rounds, yeah. 10 rounds.
Event.
I finished with 1 loss, which is against Storm, and 2 draws. One was against a Shenron variant. I couldn't really pick up on what it was. He was playing the triple flash, but he never got it out. I never really did much. It's just the matchup was really slow. And then the last draw was against the Shenron Veggie deck, and it literally came down to like 5k in the last second, and on my final swing, I had the 3-drop Mass Saiyan out, and on my final swing, it wasn't enough, and then time was just done. So he said he didn't think he could beat me on the backswing either. So it was a dead game no matter what.
It was a dead game.
Yeah, and then I played. Oh man, there were so many decks at this event. I played Yamcha, I played Shenron, I played Androids. There were so many, and I had a great time. It was awesome. Game Masters throws amazing events. If you guys are ever in Texas, this is the place to play. I'm telling you right now.
It's great.
Like you can't go anywhere else, and there's nothing like Game Masters Southern hospitality. Like,
oh, that's for sure.
Everybody loves everybody here. So if you're out here, head on out. Anthony will tell you.
No, for sure, guys. And I'm gonna have another video coming up soon. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this deck profile with the nice sideboard. And we have a top competitor here, so we hope to see more of you in the future and representing Game Masters. And as always, this channel is all about you.